So, Renee, 15% of women send themselves flowers on Valentine's Day.
If that was any other day of the year, I'd think cool. But I'd like to give those women, like, a hug. I think you must be quite upset with things if you feel like you have to send yourself flowers on a specific day.
I buy flowers from my flat, but I would never send them to myself.
¿Por qué?
Just because it's probably more expensive than just buying them.
Yeah, but they'll look nicer, don't they? There's nothing nicer than
I think you get overcharged. There's a lot of just foliage.
Welcome to No Sex in the City. We're just two girls from very different backgrounds with very different opinions on things, talking about stuff. I'm Renee.
I'm Helen. So every week we dissect and discuss pop culture, peen, and everything in between.
Where you been, Helen? I know some of you might have noticed we didn't have a podcast last week. Why was that?
Yeah, so we apologise. At least 3 friends got in touch about the distinct lack of podcast last week. I was on holiday with my mum. I went to Crete for a week because that's what you do when you're 26 and single. You just still go away with your mum.
That sounds nice, though.
Yeah, it was really nice. The weather was still pretty good there. Super relaxing. Lots of reading and drinking and eating and listening to podcasts.
So was it good then?
But so where we were staying, we were in a little hotel. It was really lovely. There were quite a lot of like OAP couples, and it was quite a small hotel, so you get talking to people, which is really nice.
I love that. I love going away and making a holiday friend.
Yeah, like you're so much friendlier than like I'm like talking to people.
London brings out the worst in people. No one talks to each other here. As soon as you step outside, it's like, hey, how you doing? How's your morning? How's your kids?
Yeah. And it's like, so it was nice, but something, and I had a really lovely holiday, but what I did, something that was beginning to grate on me by the end of the week is so, you know, most people in that hotel are probably over 50, is when older people say to younger people, oh, it was like this in my day. It just annoys me so much. I just find it such a useless comment.
What? Why? Because I love it when old people tell me, like, I love finding out stuff from back in the day, and they're like, oh yeah, we never used to do that. And I'm like, really? And I find it so interesting. I love listening to old people's stories.
The reason, I love listening to old people. The reason I hate it is because it's always kind of loaded with the, like, you don't know how good you've got it type thing. And I personally think, let me add it, Renee.
I'm not saying anything.
I personally think that it's actually the hardest time ever to be a young person. And the reason I think that is I almost think there's, you know, everyone is encouraged to make something of themselves now. And I almost think there's too much opportunity. I think young people now, maybe it's just myself, you're always questioning, like, is what I'm doing good enough? What's next? You can't just be settled anymore. Like, people don't have jobs for 15 years anymore because you're always kind of like moving on and like, what's next? What's next? Is what I'm doing good enough? You know, I'm working. Is my job good enough? Have I made the right career decision, or should I be off traveling? And people are working longer hours for less money. And also, you know, people are then like, unfortunately, if you live in London or like the home counties, you're probably not going to be able to afford to buy a property without help from your parents.
Yeah.
It's like, but you know, all our parents were lucky that, you know, it was just, stuff was easier then. I really think stuff was easier then. You would just, you'd get a job, you'd work super hard, but you'd leave at 5:30. You wouldn't be emailed out of hours because there wasn't so much communication. You'd save money. It was easy to save. Stuff wasn't so expensive. And then, you know, when you're in your 30s or 40s, you'd buy a flat or house.
Yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from, and I kind of get it. It is the thought. It's heartbreaking to think that I'm never going to be able to buy a house, which is the reality, because the way, like you were saying, working longer hours for less money these days, it is a bit like, oof. But actually, to be fair, I don't know if I want to buy a house here, but that's another conversation. But yeah, things are difficult for young people, but then things are also so much easier than they were back in the day. So that now, if you need to find out any information, it's not even a click of a mouse. It's on your phone. You can find out anything you need to know right then and there. You can read articles. You can read journals published by universities across the world and have like real facts and information right there. You don't have to go to a library and check out a book, or you don't have to wait. Like, your sphere of knowledge isn't just the people in your life. And there's so many more opportunities out there because of that. The like apprenticeships and like ways to like trial like new things. Like, I never thought about doing half of the careers. I never thought about being able to be a voiceover. I never thought that was a thing. You know, I just heard voices and thought, cool.
You heard that right, guys. Renee's voice is for hire.
Yeah, pay me.
You could be on a lovely tampon ad.
God, the dream. But I think, yeah, so social media makes people feel like they're in competition with each other. But realistically, once you get out of the mindset that that's important, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you wanted to go travelling for a year, you can go travelling for a year. But can you? I get what you're saying, but I think the bigger stuff is harder. Yeah, maybe day-to-day life is easier because of instant communication, but I think the biggest stuff is harder, and I don't think you can do whatever you want. I think you're told you can do whatever you want. I think, I was lucky that I went to a school where you really encouraged, to work hard, go to university, girls, make something of yourself. So you go to university, and I think a lot of people have a bit of a shock after they leave university and they're trying to find a job. It's so hard to find a job, and you got told that you were spending thousands of pounds on this degree and it meant you were special and you were going to make something of yourself. And that you're intelligent. And then most people, their first experience of work is doing kind of like an assistancy role, where often you can maybe feel like you're too good for it, but you've had to start at the bottom and you're not being paid very much. That's ridiculous mentality to have. You shouldn't ever think, oh, I've got a degree, I can't work in McDonald's. Like, it doesn't matter how educated you are, you need to always start from the bottom. And I think this is going to make me sound so old, but this is the problem with young people today, is that people just like sound like a granny. I can't believe I just said that. Is that they expect to, I finished uni, give me my job with my 60k salary and my holidays abroad all the time. Like that, it doesn't work that way. You have to earn things and you have to start from the bottom. So, and even if you can't afford to go to university or choose not to go to university, we all need to start from the same place.
Yeah, I agree, but you're kind of not told that. Everything's a shock. And I don't think social mobility was what it was in the olden days. My dad is from a council estate in Essex, just worked super hard, went to university, became a lawyer, did well for himself. Now he's got 2 princess daughters. That is like social mobility in action. I don't think that's how stuff works anymore. I don't think I'm going to have the standard of life that my parents have when I get old.
You have that standard of life now. You've just come off a holiday. What do you mean?
I mean, I won't be able to buy a house, unless I get help from family.
Okay.
Which is very lucky that some people have that and a lot of people don't.
And is that the end of the world?
No, but it's there's these certain things in life that you kind of tick off and have as achievements, and I think that's one of them. But it's not just about being able to buy a house. I think the conversation's gone in that direction. I think it's just, it's hard, it's so competitive now. And I think there's always, is what I'm doing right?
But I think that nobody knows that. And I even think back in the day, it would be a bit of a different situation, but the older generations would have thought, like, my mum, when she had me, she left Trinidad to go to America to find a job, and I'm sure she would have had the thought of, is this the right thing to do, or should I stay in Trinidad and raise my child in Trinidad, But so there's different things to think about, and I think, they would have thought about, I'm assuming, I don't know, I don't time travel, but, and I think back in I just think that it's ridiculous to say that just because nowadays there's too many options it's stupid. It's like, cry me a river. I was like, I'm sorry, you've got too many opportunities out there. What the fuck? Like, even in this country, there are people that don't have that many opportunities. We're so privileged. I think it's just ridiculous to think that like kids these days have it hard. Like, yeah, we might not be able to buy a house because the deposit's a bit more than £6,000 like it was back in the day. But realistically, everything else is easy. It's easier to eat healthy. There's more like healthy food options around. It's easier to travel. It's easier, like, just technology is so much more advanced that you can just do anything. I'm just like, what? Like, no. Kids today do not have it hard. There does seem to be like this weird thing of older people talking down to younger people. And I feel like I'm guilty of that because I think I just did it when I was just like, the problem with the young people today. But it's like...
Yeah, Renee's only 30, by the way.
I'm 25.
No, you're not.
No, I'm definitely not. No, yeah, I'm 35.
She acts like she's some matriarch, but she's not.
I'm an old lady. But I must have looked quite young the other day because I was on the tube coming home. I ended up working late. So whilst you were off with your mum having a good time on holiday, I ended up working until 10:30. And 'cause you know when you just have those weeks that are just crazy busy. So I get on the tube to go home, jump on the Piccadilly line, I've got my earphones in, I'm not listening to anything because I kind of just wanted some quiet. And this group of older people gets on the tube and they're drunk. And when I say older, I'm talking about like 50, which I don't even think is old. Do you think that's old?
No, not really.
Like, that's not old to me. Anyway, this woman sits next to me and she's in the priority seat. And then I can hear, like, she's saying stuff, but not that loud. And then I could hear her, what turns out to be her husband, being like, oh, in my day, people would give up their seats to the older people. And I'm like, what? and the woman's like, are you older, are you? And he was like, well, I am. I'm older than some of these people here. And I was thinking, I know they're not talking about me. Like, what the fuck? And the whole time, I was only one stop with them, which was like 2 minutes. They're having this really loud conversation about young people today. I mean, I'd give up my seat if an older person came up. And then the wife's like, oh, stop it. You're not that old. And he's like, well, I've got a bus pass. And I'm like, what the
Oh, that means that he must be over 60.
Over 60 and he's out on a Friday night in central London, pissed as a fart.
No, I'm not saying 60's old. It's just you get a free bus pass when you're over 60.
Well, that's right. Well, they look great. Anyway, I get up for my stop and I was thinking, they're just having a rant. These people are just having a rant. So I get up and I can hear the woman go, see, now you can sit down. And I hear the guy go, ugh. And I'm like, you're not that old. You're not old. Fuck you, is what I'm saying. If you're out on a Friday night in central London, drunk, wasted, you don't need a
midweek.
It's a Friday night.
Oh.
This is the peak party night. Like, what? Why do you need a seat? Am I an asshole?
No, I get no. They probably needed a seat because they were so drunk.
That's not my problem. You did that yourself.
No, I agree. Like, if you're old enough, if you're able-bodied enough and old enough, is there such thing as old enough to be out on a Friday night getting drunk, like, and making your own way home? Like, you don't need a seat.
But even sometimes on like nights if I get a later tube and I see someone that's maybe gone like to an opera or a show and they are a bit older and you're like, do you want to sit down?
How do you know they've been to an opera or a show?
Because they always have the playbills and things in their hands.
They've got a pair of binoculars. You're supposed to put them back in the front of the seats.
And it's just a bit like, because you know they make a night of it because they've come out into the city to go to see a show or whatever. And I'll offer them my seat. But this couple, they didn't. This group of people, they weren't that old.
Getting mashed up.
I'm just like, I just think that's a really shitty thing to do. Anyway.
It's weird. I feel like everyone who lives in London has had an instance where they've offered a seat to someone because they've maybe thought they look old, and then the person's a bit like, actually look a bit offended.
Really?
Because I think most people want to keep going. And like,
you're old as shit. Sit down.
Yeah, like, and as I've said before, my dad is quite elderly, but he would not want someone to offer him his seat. So I only offer my seat for pregnant ladies. Really? Which everyone should do.
Yeah, standard. But even
if someone's got a walking stick.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably if someone looks like they're working, like they got a Sudan or a briefcase.
Yeah, that's a good...
It's like you commute every day type thing. You don't need a seat.
That's very true.
But like you say, if someone's on a day trip, they're a bit like, oh, looking at the map. Where are we going? Where are we getting off?
Making a day of it. Sit down, Sheila.
Yeah, but I'm much more likely to offer a seat. Or I find actually when you travel with people, it's kind of like... So say like an elderly lady might be with her younger daughter, and the younger daughter will kind of go like, oh, do you want a seat, mum? And that's almost like a signal, because people like, especially in London, people can kind of like not be very aware of their surroundings or be like a bit like overly polite. So that's kind of, I feel like, the tube etiquette. or if you're elderly, you just hover by a seat.
Just wait for people to pretend to not be reading.
But I think if there's a pregnant woman, like, you should actually just make a gangway straight away.
Always. And they never do.
Yeah.
They never do.
And obviously I'm massively generalising, but my personal experience has always been that it's women who get up for pregnant women.
That's true. Girl power.
Remember pretend they're like fucking reading the Metro.
Like, nobody reads the Metro. We look at the pictures. Don't even pretend. You look at the pictures and you look at that, like, the love bit at the back when it's like, has somebody spotted me? Is somebody in love with me? No.
Oh my God, yeah. One person should just read the whole newspaper to the carriage.
Could you imagine? Oh, that would be good.
And like, so if you get them at Clapham Junction, it's like the sport pages. You've missed the main news.
My flatmate went on a date the other day. She comes into...
Girl, get yourself out there.
She came into the living room and she goes, how's this outfit? Is this date appropriate? And in that split second, I thought, I don't actually know what a date appropriate outfit is. So I was like, it looks tight. I can see a bit of boob. It sounds good to me, you know? But what is a date appropriate outfit?
Yeah, I've never really... It's funny because I'm very like... I dress quite covered up. I actually have massive boobs. You just don't know.
Got two old biddies.
But I wear like not massively baggy tops, but I don't really accentuate my figure much. Just because I don't really like that style. I know some people like it. But I don't like it. So, but I probably get out a bit more skin on a date. Maybe, but more like arms than boobs. I just think getting your boobs out is so naff.
I always get a bit boob out.
Do you?
Yeah, because I...
Well, yours are even bigger than mine.
Yeah, they're
There's only one way they're going, and it's out.
Or down. Sweet Jesus. But I always get a little bit of boob out, only because I keep them covered up all week. And sometimes I'm like, just let the girls free. Let them roam. Give them the attention they deserve. But I've never had anybody, like, stare at them or anything. So they can't be that out.
Yeah. There's kind of that cliche of, like, a date outfit.
Yeah, I would love to have a little black dress.
I think the classic date outfit, I remember when I used to read Glamour magazine all the time, and they used to like cover this topic a lot.
Oh, it's I still have a subscription.
Heels, jeans, and like a skinny top. Not a skinny top, a strappy top. Oh, that's how I don't wear them, so I don't know the name for them, because I always knew more fabric on me than them.
I don't know what I'd wear. I did go on a date the other day, and we were like black jeans, black like top with a little bit of a V-neck, and then a coloured jacket, because I was like, he's gonna think I'm in mourning. But is it because you want to look like fun? No, look a bit like fun kid. I would normally wear black or grey. Yeah, like all black with a bit of grey, or just all black. Do you think that we put too much pressure on ourselves when getting dressed? Because I wonder if for dates, because I do wonder if guys are like, I'm gonna wear this polo shirt done up, but I'm going to wear trainers as well to make myself look like smart but casual. Do you know what I mean? Or do you think they just get dressed? I feel like they just get dressed.
Yeah, but isn't a girl usually in a date? I think there is a bit like, a bit of skin to look a bit sexy. But I think a girl's doing it so she feels she looks nice. So she is like the best version of herself, and so she acts confidently. I think that's kind of the overriding.
Oh, sorry. The best version of myself is like my pajamas. I got these really nice floral, like tropical print, like pajama, like silk short things from Asda. And I love them. It was £12, and that's I look great in them. They make me feel fantastic.
Well, maybe you should wear them on your next date. I do also I don't know how to say this. Like, I like to be a little bit like fashion in my like general life. Like, I'm a bit like, yeah, you know what? I am going to buy some backless slippers and flares and wear them, because I like to play around with my clothes. But on a date, I'd probably go a bit more You don't want anything that like a guy's going to be like, that's a bit weird. So you don't wear anything that garish.
Do you ever think about how easily it's going to come off?
No.
Oh, no, yeah, me neither. Because, right, so you've been dating a guy for a while and you're like, it might get to that time where, you know, you want him to touch places.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you think, oh, I can't wear, especially those bras that aren't bras that you're a fan of. Sometimes they go
bras that aren't bras. They're just a lace bra with an underwire.
It's like a bralette. You wear loads of like bralettes, don't you? And sometimes
no,
like
that's a bra. I'm wearing a bra right now. It's just not got. It's just a bit. It's lace, and then it's got an underwire. It's still a bra.
So So I've got a few of those too, but some of them like they go on over the head, and some of them clasp at the front. And sometimes I think these aren't really date appropriate because how's he going to get in there? That's awful, isn't it? Is that bad?
No, I think that's normal. I mean, there's also definitely, like, even if you don't think it's going to go that way, I think there's, like, I'm going to wear nice underwear, again, because it makes me feel nice.
I love wearing nice underwear.
And, it's like the Bridget Jones scene when she doesn't know what underwear to put on, and so she puts on her massive granny pants.
And she feels the best.
She's the best version of herself.
She feels the best and she gets laid.
That's because she thinks they're not going to get down to business. And then they do.
Maybe that's what the lesson is here. If you wear what you're comfortable in, then sparks are more likely to fly because you're being yourself.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I actually have often found that if you prepare your pubic hair, it's less likely to happen.
You jinx yourself.
I tend to get lucky when there's quite a lot going on downstairs.
God.
But I always do a pre-warning. I think you should do a pre-warning if it's going in that direction. You should be like, I haven't shaved.
So I went to see Mickey Flanagan last week, and he was talking about how it's become popular for women to have no hair down there, and guys are like fully like shaving and trimming and stuff. Whereas back in the day, that obviously we all know what the 70s bush was like.
Yeah.
But I actually wonder if guys are bothered about it.
I think there's some guys, you always hear about a guy in your like friendship group where it's like, oh, he likes girls really hairy. I mean, the no hair thing is kind of like friction, right? That's why you get rid of your hair.
What? I get rid of it because it looks nice.
I don't think it looks nice. I think it looks like a chicken. I think it looks like an uncooked chicken. Mine looks like an uncooked chicken.
Mine looks like a nice brown rotisserie chicken, if that's the case. I think it looks nicer without it, personally. I just like how it feels as well. But it's weird. I've never even thought... having this discussion with you has made me realise how little I think about what guys like.
But you shouldn't be thinking about what guys like.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's my vagina. I'll do what I want.
Have you ever had someone be like, "Wait, there's a ladder"? So you're normally prepared.
Yeah, because that's just how I am. But there was an ex, one time I used to have like a little landing strip, and he went down and like he went to hang out down there.
Down to Chinatown.
And he was like, if there's less hair on here, I'd spend more time down here. And I went, but I don't really like it anyway, so whatever. I was like...
At least he said what he wanted. I guess you're in a relationship.
And then, but it turned out he liked doing it. So I was just like, oh. Again, being super selfish, being like, I don't really like it when guys go down on me.
What?
Yeah, because guys always give it the bing and he'll be like, I will ruin you, I'll do this to you, I'll do that to you. And then I'm like, cool, your face is in my crotch. Like,
you don't like it when guys go down on you?
Nah.
You're the first person. Most girls I know are like, it's my fucking favourite thing.
Yeah, I think that's weird for me. That's weird. I'm fully aware of how weird that is.
I get that you have to be pretty comfortable with someone to...
But even like the ex, like the ex-boyfriend from back in the day that like, just the one that really fucked shit up. He liked doing it, and I never thought about the whole time. I was just thought, I'm not really that fussed about it, so you don't have to do it. And then he was just like, no.
But you, like, your pubic hair was getting in his teeth, so you had to sort it out.
Yeah, right. And I was like, okay, I guess I could be a good girlfriend and do this for you.
Yeah, I must say, I never really I never notice like guys' hair unless it's just like a lot.
Yeah.
Like most guys just tend to be like a little bit hairy. I don't know if that's natural or if they, you know, are trimming it or shaving it. I've had an ex-boyfriend who there was a lot of hair. I've never gone downstairs and then they've been totally bald.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of hair.
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
Just like a normal level.
See, I'd be happy with no hair at all.
Really?
Yeah.
But then it looks like a little boy.
With a massive penis. Like, what?
But like, I think nunnies look nicer with a little bit of hair on them, but I get mine all off just because it's so much quicker when you go to the waxing salon.
As opposed to...
them trying to get the strip perfect.
Oh, I see.
I swear it takes 20 minutes longer to leave a bit of hair on because they can just strip it all off.
Oh, I do love a wax. I do. I love it.
Oh my God, I hate them. They're so painful. I take ibuprofen beforehand.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to make it less painful.
Interesting. So that was No Sex in the City. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff at No Sex Pod.
And leave us a review on iTunes and rate us 5 stars. Thanks.
Hey, bye.
Me.